Welcome. My name is Mark Schwartz of Schwartz International. We're a boutique international tax advisory firm, and all of our key personnel have lived and worked outside of the U.S. Today we're going to speak for about a minute about some employment tax issues. Now, you wouldn't necessarily think that employment tax issues come up every day in an international tax advisory firm or in your legal practice. But the fact of the matter is a lot of our clients are foreign companies that have invested into the U.S. And they don't always understand intricate Department of Labor laws and IRS laws on employees versus independent contractors and the various tax rules and the withholding rules and registrations that go with those. So we end up seeing a lot of those issues, and perhaps you can fill us in on a couple of the IRS items that seem to be a key focal point now.
Well, right now there's a current audit initiative regarding misclassified workers. In the United States, you have to pay, in addition to income tax, you have to pay employment tax. If you're an employee, your employer pays half of that employment tax. If you're an independent contractor, you pay the whole thing, and it's called self-employment tax. So there's sort of a fight between who's going to have to pay that tax liability. And it comes down to whether or not the worker is really an employee for tax purposes or an independent contractor. And there's some intricate rules for testing whether someone is an employee or an independent contractor. But it's important to note now because the IRS does have an audit initiative where they are basically auditing employers to make sure they are treating their workers correctly and withholding the correct amount of tax and paying it over to the Internal
So
Revenue
it seems
Service.
that the general advice is, if in doubt, ask.
That's always the best advice.
And one more thing before we go, Vivian, because you've been so helpful and we know you like to exercise, we wanted to present you with a Schwartz International Tax Advisors Dry Fit t-shirt so you can think of us while you're out there on the treadmill and jogging around by the river.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. I will wear it proudly.